We established our own 501c3 called the Prom Project. And how it came about actually was we were looking for more talent in our fabrication area. We have an acrylic fabrication department and sculpting and things of that nature. And finding artisans is hard because it's almost like a mentorship or a apprenticeship to learn some of those crafts. And we were having trouble finding that. And I said, I know there's people out there, there's kids out there that have this acumen and have this talent. They just don't know. When I was in school, they built these big extravagant things and these yellow submarines and all this stuff. And now there's go to the ball, beautiful linens, some nice type, but it's not as special and they're not as interactive. Plus the arts programs in some of our schools are not as robust as they used to be. So Raymond McAlester, my partner and husband in this business, and our daughter, Olivia Abel, who's a partner in the business, we all talked about what could we do to foster more people to know about our business, know that there's opportunities out there and it can hit us. Why don't we help kids throw their prom? Why don't we go into a school and teach them how to do it? Not do it, but teach them. So what we did is we talked to some local people and some local publisher of a local magazine and some charitable foundations, and they recommended a school. We went and met with the principal and the advisors, and we told them what we wanted to do and said, our goal is to come in and work with your kids all year and show them what it takes to put on an event. Teach them about that there's budgeting, that covers accounting. There's audiovisual, there's culinary, there's building, there's carpentry, there's talking to people.
There's rental.
There's all the rental. There's all this stuff that you have to do. And what we want to do is we want to use it as an educational process so they can see how some talents that they have could be used in a business like ours. And what we will do at the end of that time, after we help them put on their prom, is we will hire 2 interns for the summer out of this program to come work in our company, 2 paid internships. And they were like, oh my gosh. They said, that's really cool, because it's almost like I used to teach for junior achievement. I volunteer for junior achievement, where you go in and you work with kids as business leaders. And I really love that. So what we did is we went over and we had the prom committee, and we started just like you would me. We started brainstorming. First of all, we listed all the areas and events, asked what their interests were, had them sign up for different committees. We just started going through the process. So when we were in budgeting, we had them work with our accounting people. The graphics design, they worked with our graphic design people, and they drew the stuff out, and we took their ideas and we helped them bring it to life. And then they came over and helped print it. And then we did props, and they came over and helped build the props and paint them and get dirty. So they really worked side by side with our teams. And it was really inspirational for our teams as well, because the kids asked questions, they had ideas, they were like sponges. They really wanted to learn. So we got all the way up to the part where we were ready to start building the props the first time, and COVID hit. So we had to cancel. So we re-upped this last year, and we had our first prom in April. And it was such a great hit. What was really funny is one of their ideas, they wanted the theme to be royalty, and they wanted a carpet. They wanted to feel like Hollywood ruled. And we worked with them, and we taught them how to get rental drape, because they wanted to drape some things. And we taught them we made them fill out the orders, and we talked about budgeting, and they wanted to do all this, but they had raised a certain amount of money. And we said, what are you going to cut? And they had these ideas. They wanted to have all this food. And they did the menu planning, but then they came back in and said, most of us go eat before or after. So really we can limit the food so we can spend more money on this. I said, good job. I said, that's what you have to do. Every week we met with them, and it was like this learning process as it went on. And I got to tell you, these kids hadn't had live events in 2 years, and their parents had missed big moments and everything. So what we did is I made this suggestion. I said, you know what you don't have? I said, you need paparazzi. And they go, yeah. And I said, who's the best paparazzi in the world? Your parent. So what we did is we put bleachers and stuff in, and we let the parents come be the paparazzi as they went down the carpet.
Oh, that's brilliant.
That's amazing.
That's brilliant.
And I got to tell you, there was aunts and uncles and cousins and moms and
That's
dads.
a brilliant idea.
And these kids they were decked out to the nines, and they came down and they were beaming, and flash bulbs were going off and lighting and screaming and all this stuff. They were over the moon. And I was back there, and I get a little.
Oh yeah, I'm sure you were crying.
And I was just like seeing those parents, seeing their kids who had designed this, who had done this, who had worked on this and brought this all together. It was so rewarding. And we got so many applications that wanted to be interns and all this stuff. My vision is in 5 years that we have 25 proms going on around the country. And they're also orchestrated by my peers. And that other event production professionals like myself are going into their communities and working with those kids. Because what we're doing is we're also, number one, we're mentoring the youth. We're showing them our industry. And we're probably inspiring people that don't even know they want to be in this industry because they don't know that much. Did any of us go to school to be what we're doing?
And then to leave high school with already a portfolio started.
Yeah.
And the confidence and
Yes.
the hands-on experience.
And so what we want to do, because we're working on sponsorships and sponsors, is the money that we raise is not to give like a scholarship to a technical school or something. We want to give paid internships to other, like a costume shop in New York or a prop house in Los Angeles, so that these kids can go out there. Because our motto is that we want to help you build a bridge from where you are to where you can be. And sometimes you just need people to come believe in you and show you the way and give you that confidence that you're good and you can do this. Because I would love to have had something like that. I grew up in a small town. It took me 30 years to find it. If you could have seen that when you were 17. We also feel we're all very blessed, and it gives us a chance to give back. And all of the people that work for us, our teams, they love it too. They have such joy working with them. So it allows us that opportunity.
This incoming generation of event professionals are going to be unstoppable.